Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because today we are talking about something that is affecting millions of retirees right now, and it could be affecting you without you even realizing it. 84% of retirees are making this one major Social Security mistake in 2026, and the problem is most people think they are doing everything right. They worked for decades, they paid into the system, they followed the rules, and now they expect their benefits to be stable, predictable, and enough to support their retirement, but that is not what is happening for a large number of people. This is not about small technical errors, this is about a widespread misunderstanding of how Social Security actually works in today's economy and how recent changes, inflation pressures, and personal decisions are quietly reducing the income retirees depend on every single month. The mistake starts with timing and expectations. Many retirees believe that the moment they become eligible, they should start collecting benefits because they feel they have earned it and they want to enjoy their money as soon as possible. But what they do not fully understand is that claiming early permanently reduces their monthly payments, and this reduction compounds over time. When someone claims benefits at the earliest possible age, their monthly check can be significantly lower compared to waiting just a few more years, and this difference is not small. It can mean thousands of dollars lost every single year and tens or even hundreds of thousands over the course of retirement. In 2026, this issue is even more serious because cost of living increases are not keeping up with real expenses, especially healthcare, housing, and daily necessities. So if someone locks in a lower benefit early, they are locking in a weaker financial position for the rest of their life. Another major part of this mistake is underestimating longevity. People often assume they will not live long enough for delayed benefits to matter, but the reality is life expectancy has changed and many retirees are living much longer than they expected, which means that smaller monthly payments become a bigger problem over time. Retirees are also not fully accounting for inflation. Even though there are cost of living adjustments, these increases are often not enough to match actual living costs, especially for older individuals who spend more on healthcare and support services, so a smaller initial benefit grows slower and creates a widening gap between income and expenses. Another key issue is misunderstanding spousal and survivor benefits. Many retirees do not take full advantage of strategies that could increase total household income over time. Couples often make independent decisions without coordinating their claiming strategy, which results in lower combined benefits and less financial security for the surviving spouse. There is also a growing problem with retirees continuing to work while collecting benefits without understanding the earnings limits and tax implications. In 2026, more retirees are working part-time or returning to the workforce due to financial pressure, but earning above certain thresholds can temporarily reduce Social Security payments and create confusion about actual income levels. Taxation is another hidden factor that contributes to this mistake. Many retirees assume their Social Security income will be mostly tax-free, but depending on total income, a significant portion of benefits can be taxable. This reduces the net amount they receive and creates unexpected financial strain, especially if they have additional income sources like pensions or investments. Healthcare costs are one of the biggest challenges retirees face, and they are often underestimated from the beginning. Many retirees do not plan for rising insurance premiums, out-of-pocket expenses, and long-term care needs. These costs can quickly eat into Social Security income, especially if the initial benefit was already reduced by early claiming. Another issue is lack of diversification. Relying too heavily on Social Security as the primary source of income is risky in today's environment. Retirees who do not have additional savings, investments, or income streams are more vulnerable to economic changes and policy adjustments. In 2026, there is also increased attention on program sustainability and potential policy changes. While current retirees continue to receive benefits, the uncertainty around future adjustments creates anxiety and highlights the importance of maximizing benefits now rather than settling for lower payments early on. Financial literacy plays a major role in this widespread mistake. Many retirees simply do not have access to clear guidance, or they rely on outdated information. Social Security rules are complex, and without proper understanding, it is easy to make decisions that seem reasonable in the moment but have long-term consequences. Another important factor is emotional decision-making. Some retirees claim early because they fear the system will run out of money, or they want immediate financial relief without fully analyzing the long-term impact. These decisions are often driven by uncertainty rather than strategy. The reality is that Social Security is designed to reward patience and long-term planning, but many retirees approach it with a short-term mindset, which leads to lower overall benefits and increased financial pressure later in life. There is also a communication gap. Many people do not review their benefit statements regularly or check for errors in their earnings record. Inaccuracies can reduce benefit calculations, and if not corrected in time, they become permanent issues that affect monthly payments. Retirees are also not adjusting their strategy based on changing personal circumstances. Events like health changes, family responsibilities, or market conditions can all influence the optimal time to claim benefits, but many people stick with their initial plan without reassessment. Another layer to this problem is debt management. Retirees who enter retirement with significant debt have less flexibility and are more likely to claim benefits early to cover immediate expenses. This creates a cycle where lower income makes it harder to manage financial obligations. Housing decisions also play a role. Many retirees underestimate the cost of maintaining a home or downsizing, and these expenses can impact how far Social Security income can stretch, especially if benefits are already reduced. In 2026, technology and access to information are better than ever, but there is still a gap between available tools and actual usage. Many retirees do not take advantage of online calculators, planning tools, or professional advice that could help them make better decisions. Another contributing factor is overconfidence. Some retirees believe they understand the system well enough and do not seek additional guidance. This leads to missed opportunities and suboptimal choices that affect long-term financial stability. It is also important to recognize that the definition of retirement has changed. Many people are transitioning gradually rather than stopping work completely, and this requires a more flexible and informed approach to Social Security planning. Family dynamics are also influencing decisions. More retirees are supporting adult children or helping grandchildren, which adds financial pressure and affects when and how they claim benefits. The impact of inflation in recent years has made this mistake more visible as everyday costs continue to rise. Retirees with lower benefits are feeling the pressure more intensely and are forced to adjust their lifestyle or return to work, and this is becoming more common in 2026 as living costs continue to rise faster than fixed retirement income. For many households, what used to be a comfortable retirement setup is now becoming a financial balancing act where every expense needs to be carefully managed, and even small reductions in monthly income can create long-term pressure that forces lifestyle changes that were never part of the original retirement plan. Another overlooked issue is healthcare timing. Decisions about when to enroll in Medicare and how it interacts with Social Security can affect overall costs and coverage, and mistakes in this area can lead to penalties or gaps in care, and many retirees do not realize that missing key enrollment windows can permanently increase their monthly healthcare premiums, which then reduces the effective value of their Social Security income over time, and this becomes especially difficult when medical needs increase with age, creating a double financial burden of higher expenses and lower flexibility. Retirees are also not always considering the long-term implications of their decisions on their spouse or dependents. Maximizing benefits is not just about individual income, it is about protecting household financial stability over time, and one of the biggest errors people make is focusing only on their own monthly benefit without evaluating survivor benefits or how one spouse's early claiming decision can permanently reduce the income available to the surviving partner, which can create financial stress at the worst possible moment for the household. In many cases, this mistake is not caused by a single bad decision but by a combination of small misunderstandings that add up over time. Each factor on its own may seem manageable, but together they create a significant impact on retirement income, and this is why so many people do not realize the damage until years later, when it becomes difficult or impossible to correct without major lifestyle adjustments or financial restructuring. The solution starts with awareness. Understanding how benefits are calculated, how timing affects payments, and how different factors interact is essential for making informed decisions, and this includes knowing how early retirement reductions work, how delayed retirement credits increase monthly income, and how spousal coordination can significantly change the total household benefit picture over time. Retirees need to think beyond immediate needs and consider long-term sustainability. This means evaluating different claiming scenarios, understanding trade-offs, and aligning decisions with overall financial goals. And instead of making decisions based on short-term convenience, it becomes important to model different outcomes, such as claiming at 62 versus 67 versus 70, and seeing how those choices affect lifetime income, especially in scenarios where longevity is higher than expected. It is also important to regularly review and adjust plans. Retirement is not a fixed phase, it evolves over time, and financial strategies should adapt accordingly, and what made sense at the time of retirement may no longer be optimal 5 or 10 years later due to changes in health, income needs, inflation, or family responsibilities, which is why periodic reassessment is critical even after benefits have already started. Seeking reliable information and professional guidance can make a significant difference. Even small adjustments can lead to better outcomes and increased financial security, and this includes consulting with financial planners, reviewing official Social Security statements, and using updated calculators that reflect current laws and cost of living adjustments rather than relying on outdated assumptions or advice from years ago. The key takeaway is that Social Security is a powerful resource, but only When used strategically, making the wrong decision at the start can limit its potential and create unnecessary challenges later on, and once those decisions are locked in, they often define the financial reality for decades, which is why careful planning before claiming is one of the most important retirement decisions anyone can make. In 2026, the stakes are higher because of economic uncertainty, rising costs, and longer life expectancy, which makes it even more important to avoid this common mistake. And retirees are now facing a reality where their savings must stretch further while expenses continue to grow, which increases the importance of maximizing guaranteed income sources like Social Security. If you are approaching retirement or already receiving benefits, this is the time to evaluate your situation, understand your options, and make sure you are not leaving money on the table. And even if you have already started claiming, it is still important to check whether additional strategies such as spousal coordination or tax optimization could improve your overall financial position. This is not about fear, it is about making informed choices that support your long-term well-being and financial independence, and the goal is to ensure that retirees do not unknowingly limit their own financial security through decisions that seemed reasonable at the time but were not fully optimized for long-term outcomes. The difference between a comfortable retirement and a stressful one often comes down to decisions made at the beginning, and Social Security is one of the most important of those decisions, and those early choices can determine whether retirement feels stable and secure or constantly under financial pressure, requiring ongoing adjustments and compromises. Take the time to understand it, review your strategy, and make adjustments if needed, because once benefits are claimed, the opportunity to change course is limited, and while some strategies can still be improved later, the biggest impact always comes from the initial decision-making process before benefits begin. This is why so many retirees are facing challenges today, not because they did something obviously wrong, but because they did not fully understand the system and how to use it to their advantage. And the system itself is complex enough that even well-informed individuals can miss important details that have long-term consequences. You do not have to be part of that 84%. You can take control of your financial future by staying informed, thinking long-term, and making decisions based on strategy rather than urgency. And this means slowing down major financial decisions related to retirement income and considering the full picture instead of reacting to immediate financial pressure. And that is exactly why we are talking about this today, so you can avoid the most common mistake and make smarter choices moving forward. And the more you understand about how these systems work, the more control you gain over your retirement outcomes, and the less likely you are to be caught off guard by unexpected reductions or limitations. If this information helps you, make sure you stay connected, because understanding these details can have a real impact on your life and your financial stability in retirement. And every informed decision you make today has the potential to improve your quality of life for years to come.